Pro wrestling, some of you already know what it is. Knowledge. What's up, bro?
Tatum, how we doing, good villains? What's up, good villains?
What's
Tatum,
up?
how we doing?
Man, it was a little bit better of a week.
Yeah, well,
in terms of wrestling, it was a little bit better of a week.
Definitely a little bit better. A roller coaster of a week.
A roller coaster,
to say the least.
A roller coaster. That's a great description of this week in wrestling.
A lot of ups and then some serious downs.
Yeah, I mean, it dipped below. It dipped below the equator. It was not good. It was not good.
I gotta say, jumping right into AEW Revolution.
Yeah, let's do it.
Man, what a disappointing prediction. What a bunch of disappointing predictions I had for that show. That just didn't work out for me as well.
Yeah, you thought like Tony Khan. Tony Khan thought like a wrestling booker, and he fucked you all up. I couldn't be more happy that you were wrong.
You know, it was on the Instagram this week, and your review of Revolution said it all. God, TK did a hell of a job booking Revolution. Don't know what got into him.
Yeah, everything was booked properly.
Yeah.
It had good pacing. It wasn't too crazy. I wish some matches got a little bit longer and some matches got a little bit shorter. And also the Face of the Revolution ladder match not being on the pay-per-view. You could have put Starks and Jericho on the pre-show, or you could have put the women's match, or I'm not taking away anything from the women, but it's women's month this month, but I'm not taking anything away from the women. But in terms of a bigness of a pay-per-view quality match, a ladder match is always going to supersede most everything else on the card.
And I really feel that if they put that ladder match in between the Texas Death Match and the main, that would have kind of built towards something. Like, you had the highs, well, the disgustingness of the Texas Death Match, and then the Joe and Wardlow match just fell flat because of it. You know, so
it's just a different level in violence. I mean, it was a different level of violence. The whole show was violent.
Yeah.
I mean, it was not for the squeamish. There were several instances of some pretty gnarly stuff going on. It's been a long time since I've seen somebody stab another man with a fork on a pay-per-view, like on a national,
on a legitimate pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've seen plenty of indie shows where fucking people have stabbed themselves with way weirder shit than a fork. But to see Moxley put him in a triangle choke and start just plastering his forehead with shots, I mean, it was something to behold. And I like that sort of thing. And that is the right context for it. Seeing Jon Moxley bleed every match before that takes away when he actually does bleed, because he bleeds really well. For a guy who doesn't drink, he fucking bleeds like a sieve.
Yeah, and it's just, when that match was done, and
where do you go from there?
The only so I think they could have, the only better booking decisions would have been, you know, obviously to get Joe and Wardlow out of there, get them out of that spot, move them somewhere else, and you either do that comedy tag team match after that to kind of change the pace, get the crowd back into it, or you have that ladder match to now step up the violence.
Yeah,
you know?
The comedy tag, that would have been a good spot for that match to kind of take the crowd on even more of a roller coaster ride than what they were already on, and then maybe finish it off with the 60-minute Iron Man match at that point.
Right.
So you have serious, violent wrestling, you have some comedy, and then you have a very serious technical masterpiece.
Right.
Because facts stand on themselves. That MJF is the real deal, bro. He is not just a fucking guy with a microphone who's really good. He's the fucking complete package. He's not the total package like Lex Luger. He is the complete fucking package when it and I was wrong, and we're gonna do we're gonna have a whole video separate to MJF. But I just wanted to say that outright, that I was completely misguided on the ability that MJF had to maintain for 60 minutes. That is not actually 67 minutes and change. That is not a fucking small feat, my friends. That is a serious fucking endeavor right there.
And it was definitely the right decision to have MJF tap after time expired.
Oh, 100%.
And then win it the way he did. My concern with that was it's AEW, and mistakes happen so often that all you have to do is have that clock run at the wrong time, not actually run
not
down.
counting down at the same time as the clock, and you tap out too early, and it's fucked.
You just fucked the ending. So,
right.
Good decision to trust them enough to get that done the right way.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely have the tap out aspect of it. Don't bring it to a 3 count that can't finish in time, because then that just allows the referee to make a mistake there. Don't leave it in the hands of the referee.
Right.
It was a good decision, and then to have Danielson tap out to lose it. I mean,
what a feather in MJF's cap. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to talk about solidifying a guy? I mean, I give all credit to Danielson too, but I know that Danielson can do that match. Like that was never a question for me. The question was, can MJF do that match?
Yep.
And he proved, not just to me, but probably to himself and everybody else in the wrestling world who has doubted him and said there's no way that he's going to fucking get through this match.
Yeah.
And not only did he get through the match, but he did it in a masterful way. Mm-hmm. And it was perfectly coordinated with the finish being the way that it was, the oxygen tank shot that was left at ringside, like the continuity of the story was so spot on.
Even allowing him to use a little bit of heelish intelligence. You give the low blow to take the fall. You get 2 quick falls.
Mm-hmm.
So smart to have that spot in that match.
Yep.
It was really well done.
You take 1 and get 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you don't see that type of shit in like longer Iron Man style matches. 2 out of 3 falls. You don't see a guy. In 2 out of 3 falls, the match will be over.
Right.
But what a great finish that would be. You kick the guy in the nuts, you get DQ'd, and then you pin him twice, and you win the fucking match.
Yep. I mean, it's just smart. It's smart. That match was definitely built the right way. There were some questionable decisions, I think, throughout Revolution. Well, I mean, always. I don't understand. And you mentioned this during the review. You were all about Ruby Soho kind of joining, Team WWE, basically.
Yeah. The Loser Club, or whatever the fuck they're doing. They're painting green L's on people.
Yeah, it's really strange. I don't think that...
It's strange. It's NWO-esque.
Right.
Like female NWO vibes.
Right, just not as ever as good. And
well, they're just not as over as those guys were.
And
I mean, none of them are Hulk Hogan, dude.
And I just don't understand the Ruby Soho thing. You were giving her such momentum, and now I feel like she's going to get lost in the shuffle there.
Well, she's definitely taken the third wheel approach to that group.
Which is a step back. I mean, okay, you don't want to have her take the title, then you can have her, dump Saraya out of the ring, and then, turn on the other one. Like, just let her stand on her own. There's no reason to me to stick her into a group.
You got to do something with her. She's too talented to do nothing with.
Again, if it was me booking, the title would be on her.
Yeah, see. See, I like the momentum that she has, and I like the matches that she has because they're believable. Like, it's not like a ton of botches. Like, it's not It's not her like getting misplaced in the match. Like, she wrestles a pretty believable style. She doesn't have moves in her repertoire that require her to like do superhuman feats of strength to do the moves. She does stuff that's within her style and her moveset.
It's very believable.
It's very, very smart. Like Toni Storm, I love Toni Storm, but seeing Toni Storm do the Storm Zero to Jade Cargill, it's never going to happen.
Doesn't make sense.
It's never going to happen.
I just think you had a way out. You get the title onto Ruby Soho, let Saraya and Baker and all them have their side thing that has its own storyline that doesn't need a title, and let Ruby Soho now get other challengers involved with the women's championship match.
I agree. Why is Jade Cargill not involved in the women's championship match? She's 52-0.
Did you hear what Danielson said this week about Cargill?
What?
Said that she's very interested in doing a tour of Japan, and he said that would be the best thing for her. Let her get experience. She'll come back as a different wrestler, you know.
Bro, she'd kill people over there,
and come back even more stiff, even more prepared.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think that she needs to be more stiff with nobody. I mean, that pump kick that she does, dude, that's fucking serious business. Yeah. Like, poor Red Velvet's face has taken that fucking kick so many times at this point. And Sky Blue, poor Sky Blue.
Yeah.
Just getting absolutely I don't understand, man.
She's definitely underutilized. Time to get rid of that title, and I wish that, you know, it could just be. I mean, I don't want her to lose it. I want her.
Why are there two women's titles?
Right. Especially if you're not going to have one,
unless you're going to do an all-woman show.
Well, I'm fine. Go ahead. Let's do all-woman.
Unless you're going to do an all-women show, there is no use to having more than one title for the women, because you don't have enough TV time to put them on television. So, like, how can people get invested in these characters? Like, people are invested in Britt Baker because she's been there since the beginning. Yeah. People watched her during the lockdown era and, like, the whole shit. So people are invested in her character. Ruby, Toni, and fucking Saraya all come from WWE. That's why people are interested in their character. Yeah. Jamie Hayter. People really haven't caught all the way on with Jamie Hayter yet.
Everyone knows why people are into Jamie Hayter.
Right. And it's unfortunate because she's a fucking hell of a hand.
Super talented.
She can fucking wrestle her ass off.
I thought it was a great decision putting the title on her. I mean,
agreed. But, like, I love Chris Statlander. Yeah. Like, I fucking love Chris Stat. And I'm like, where the fuck is Chris Stat? Okay, where the fuck is Mercedes Moné? Mm-hmm. Like, you're over in Japan. You can come to AEW. Yeah. Like, they have a working relationship. Right. You can come here. Like, why are you not here?
Right.
It makes perfect sense for you to come here right now. Is she afraid that she's going to get lost in the shuffle? Probably. Wow. She's not going to get the star quality treatment that she's getting at NJPW.
Well, she got the title immediately in, I mean, a decent match, I guess. But it was clear from the beginning that she was going to get that title, and now where does she go? You know, I mean, it's only down from here. You had your moment. That's basically it now.
Well, she's only contracted for 4 shows.
Right.
So
and she's got her acting gig going on too with the Mandalorian and all that.
So I mean, my guess is that she is just gonna fucking do her 4 dates and then see where the fucking cards fall. Maybe contact Triple H and be like, hey, listen, like, it might behoove you to fucking bring me back now with a higher paying money. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen,
higher paying Monet.
Yeah, like, but the thing is, bro, is that there is fucking money in her.
Yeah.
As much as I fucking don't really dig her, I don't really dig how she's, like, not cool to fans, because that's your job. The fans are what make you. So when you're rude to fans, it's just like, I understand there's a certain level of privacy, and people should respect that and respect boundaries and, like, not bother you if you're not. But if you're, like, you know, if you're, like, at an autograph signing and you could fucking care less, like, that's fucked.
Yeah.
You can't do that shit.
I can't stand the all right, I'll take a picture of you, but we're going to be like 5 feet apart. And, you can just kind of hold something up and I'll just pose over here and pay me $50 for each picture,
Yeah.
That's a little ridiculous.
But if you're harassing somebody at fucking 6 o'clock in the morning at fucking the airport,
no, that's totally
fuck are you
unacceptable.
Doing? Like, people are in their pajamas; they're not even awake yet.
And I also get like, hey, don't put your hands on me while we're taking a picture.
Oh, don't fucking touch me! What the fuck are you talking?
But like, I'm taking a picture with you, so like, I would like to not be 5 feet away from you.
Right? If we could just stand next to each other,
right, that'd be great.
But see, that's the problem, is that people like us, like normal people, would respect those boundaries. Mm-hmm. These other incel, yeah. I love fucking LA Knight coming out and doing the incel, you bunch of incels. It's funny shit. But they like grab on people and they're like trying to like grab cheeks and shit. And it's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing?
It's weird. I mean, for that, so I don't know if you're aware of Chuck Palahniuk. He's the author that wrote Fight Club.
I'm aware.
All right, so I went to a signing of his one time, and he takes pictures with the fans, and he says, "Listen, I have 2 poses. I'm either going to choke you, or I forget what the second one. I chose to have him like choke me in the picture, right? Mm-hmm. And it was good. He's like, hey, these are the 2 poses. Basically, I'll put my hands on you. You're not going to put my hands on me. Those are the ground rules. Or you just don't have to get a picture. You can do something like that with the fans. Like, hey, I have 2 poses. Like, whatever. Choose the one and we'll go from there. He also had a short little 30-second conversation with you, seemed like he was interested in you.
Yeah, nice. Signed your book and then fucking see you later.
But that to me is the appropriate way to approach fans. I'm fine with them not grabbing onto you or whatever, but to just pass them off. She is very standoffish with fans. I just feel like it's more of a superiority complex in some of these cases. I'm better than that, you know?
Yeah. Now, the one other issue that I'm sure that you were thinking and I'm thinking as well is the TNT title issue on the show.
Yeah.
Was that the other issue that you were talking about?
That was the other issue. Yeah. I mean, the biggest loser of the night was Wardlow.
He lost the title twice in a day. The poor guy.
I mean, what a difference a year makes.
That guy was a world-beaten motherfucker a year ago.
And now you keep losing to Joe.
Cut your hair. You're fucked.
Cut your hair. Now you lose on Dynamite.
With help from QT Marshall. Of all fucking people. Of all people.
And you're doing a swanton bomb through a table and all this.
From the top rope, bro. To the floor. I mean, crazy shit.
Something that a big guy like him should not be doing, or should not be able to do, I should say. And yet, it's the shortest title reign in AEW history.
He's going to be great in WWE.
Oh,
him and Brian Cage.
Is anyone that knows how to use a big guy like him,
Oh my God, Hunter is probably fucking sitting there going, and William Regal's probably like, oh. Hello, governor.
and it's the biggest problem is that, Revolution was booked so well.
And then you follow it up with a substandard. It was promo night. They had so many in-ring promos. Give us a little bit of action. And I like how they started the show. They started the show really well. I was like, hey, okay, this is good. Orange Cassidy wrestling a very what's the best word for it? A very non-Orange Cassidy type match. Mm-hmm. He actually wrestled.
Right.
He was using psychology, but not in a funny way. He only had one spot on the ring apron where he was, mock throwing chops. But other than that, I mean, there wasn't any hands in the pockets. He actually fucking wrestled Jay Lethal. Mm-hmm. And it was fucking excellent.
Whose decision do you think that was? You think that was more Jay Lethal saying, hey, we gotta kind of actually wrestle here?
No. I think Jay Lethal loves doing that comedy stuff.
True, he does like the comedy
because, stuff. I mean, think about it, dude. He's popping the crowd, He hasn't popped the crowd that way since doing the Macho Man and Ric Flair stuff.
Yeah, it's true.
Think about how much of a pop that gets when you're in the ring with Orange Cassidy. Why wouldn't you do that shit?
Well, I just think that he's such he's such an experienced guy that he's going to say, hey, after that comedy show we just put on, we need to actually come out here and wrestle.
Totally possible, totally plausible. I would not put it past them at all. But Orange Cassidy's got the goods, man.
Yeah.
He can fucking wrestle his ass off. Like,
I'm still kind of sour on him.
I get it.
But
I understand it, dude.
Yeah.
I understand it. Looking forward in AEW, it's wide open. FTR coming back really solidifies things. Clearly they are going to be the horses that they are going to strap the tag team titles onto.
Super disappointed in that. Really wanted them to go to WWE.
Well,
take the titles off
that's for selfish reasons.
Yeah, no, definitely.
That's for selfish reasons. Staying in AEW is probably best for them, dude, because they can do other shit. They can work ROH.
Open schedule.
Yeah, they can have a podcast. There are opportunities to be had there,
Yeah.
And it's not like Tony Khan is running out of money anytime soon. So, he's going to be, in business for quite a bit. I don't think he's going to cut. He has a no-cut policy. So, whatever they sign their deal for, I'm sure are very happy with the money that they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure that they could have gone anywhere that they wanted to and commanded any price that they wanted to. I'm sure that it was a figure that they all found agreeable, and I'm sure that it was for multiple years, and they're going to finish out their career there. And you know what? Rightfully so. They won the WWE Tag Team titles already. Let's finish this story in AEW. You know what I mean?
Imagine if they don't put the titles on them. Imagine that.
Oh, no, dude. I think that they'd quit. I think that they would just walk out and sit out the rest of that contract.
Well, what if that's what they want? What if they want AEW to be the only place they couldn't win the titles? They literally won the titles everywhere else.
In companies that they only wrestled in one time.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really goes to show you.
Oh, man.
Now, what do you think about House of Black taking the 6-man titles? A lot of people, there's been a lot of negativity towards that, and I don't understand why there's negativity towards it. It's the right move.
It made the most sense. It was the one storyline that had the most build towards it, And
you gotta free Kenny and the Bucks up, man.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
You gotta free them up to do other shit.
Absolutely. Listen, I understand that the trios titles were made for the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Yep.
But they can't hold it forever.
Yeah.
House of Black, they work well as a stable. You don't really want to see them separate. They do some cool shit together.
I would like to see them separate, but that's because I'm such a fan. That's me being selfish.
They would now need to break off and do these just a different gimmick. They can't be what they are now separately. But they worked some really cool shit together.
That Dante's Inferno shit is fucking dope, dude. Yeah. Because Brody King looks like he is absolutely just pile driving that person's head into the ground.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's so fast. And it's so hard to get a read on it of how deep that person's head is. Mm-hmm. But he's such a big guy, dude. There's no way that their head is even close to touching.
I just like seeing. I was very much against the trios titles to begin with. I didn't think it was necessary, but I like seeing the work that they're putting to making these trio moves together
to being a team.
Yeah, it's smart. It's a whole different dynamic. It's something they need to kind of feature more often because that's what's going to separate you. That's why, months ago when we talked about ways that we would treat it differently, I wouldn't do a trios title, but I would do a stables championship that can be defended in different ways, but it just adds a different element than what else is on the show,
Yeah, the 3-person moves brings a totally different dynamic to the thing, and don't get me wrong, the Bucks and Kenny do that too, but it's what they do solo. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
These guys have have built moves to do together. They only do them together. So it's very interesting to see that. And honestly, like seeing Kenny fucking work to stalemates with fucking Alistair, Malachi Black, and Buddy Matthews. Was something really something really amazing and epic to me, because it's not I've never seen them work before. And those, I mean, if anyone is as close to Kenny Omega body size, it's Buddy Murphy. I mean, or Buddy Matthews. It is. I'm just calling him by the fucking WWE. But they're so talented, and they have such an ability to read their opponent, and you can tell the fluidity in their movements. Like, imagine seeing those guys go one-on-one with each other, and the fucking shit that they would be able to do, and the stand-up, the standoffs that they would be able to have. It would just be fucking epic. And I mean, obviously Malachi Black is the fucking man. And I have a brand new respect for Kenny Omega after Wrestle Kingdom, after seeing him work with Will Ospreay. I really sat down and really watched that match, and I really got a new appreciation for Kenny Omega and his style of wrestling and why he does some of the things that he does. And seeing him work in Japan makes a hell of a lot more sense now. And now but again, seeing him work in the States and seeing him work in Japan, they are two completely fucking separate balls of wax. They are not the same fucking thing. But they have so many talented guys on their roster. It's crazy.
But my only concern for House of Black winning it is that, listen, I get they're doing the creepy gimmick, but it just doesn't seem to fill a purpose right now. What are they going after? Whenever you do a creepy gimmick like that, you need to have some purpose. Your purpose is to what? Win the championships? Why? Why do they care? Why does it matter? Right. You're coming out in these creepy demonic masks and stuff. I don't know. Have a purpose.
Are you going to do it for Satan?
Right, yeah. Like, what are we doing? Is that what is Malachi Black like your deity that you're following here? Like, what is going on?
See, it's explanation that I think is missing from the storyline, and maybe now that they're back on TV on a regular basis, maybe we can get a little bit more of that explanation.
With the titles on them, you would think that they would be able to do some more shit.
Well, supposedly this whole Malachi Black thing is all based upon a story that I guess he wrote called The Black Father. And it's all based upon like this, but who is the Black Father? Like, what is that story?
You now need to illustrate that on TV.
Correct. Thank you very much. So
that's it.
You understand what
because he talked about the thing around his eye and how it's expanding and stuff like that, and through all the things he's going through, it's getting bigger and bigger. Like, cool, but you're saying that in an interview, and it's not apparent to everybody. Now, the fans of AEW, they will watch the interviews and they'll be interested in it. But if you're trying to
follow along.
Well, if not just follow along, but if you're trying to expand yourself to a wider audience, how about let them in on it? Like,
let me in.
But you get what I'm saying. You gotta
Malachi Black and Wyatt 6 confirmed. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. That is not for real. That is satirical humor only.
But man, I think that they have an opportunity now that since they have the titles on them, you need to really bring that story out, really get your purpose out there. And if you're gonna say, oh well, you're just not following along enough and you're not paying enough attention, they're being pretty ambiguous about it, and you get pissed off with that shit with Bray Wyatt. So you can't just give Malachi Black a pass because it's AEW.
Yeah, fuck that.
Right.
Okay, hot question right now. You have 5 seconds to answer. Who does MJF go after next? Or who goes after MJF next? I shouldn't say who does MJF go after.
I'm lost. I don't know.
No.
I don't have an opponent. It's wide open. How about you? What do you say?
I mean, before Dynamite, I would have said Hangman, but it seems that he's going to continue this thing with Jon Moxley. I mean, the only other guy would be Richard Starks. I mean,
That'll put you to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, the promos will be awesome, but...
Sure. Stark's just shooting on him constantly. That's kind of the only way that he was able to do a promo against MJF.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, this has been fucking AEW. Please make sure that you reach out to us on the Instagram at good_villain_media. You can also hit us up on the comments, like, share, subscribe. Make sure that you reach out to all your friends and tell them about our little fucking gang of hoodlums over here at Pro Wrestling Summit and Good Villain Media. For Knowledge and myself,
Peace out, good villains.
take care and brush your hair, mother heifers. Talk soon. Watch wrestling. Listen to us. Join us.